My question is, it's very simple actually. It's just regarding sort of the Janoi or Yagnopavit. What are the significance of the three threads that it's made up of?
It is nice to get such lovely, practical, simple question rather than highly philosophy, knock the heck out of everybody, including me and the audience as well. What is Janoi? What is its significance, and what practice should you adopt when you wear the Janoi? Very, very practical questions. First of all, the three strands of the Janoi, the three strings that you put on your left shoulder. What is significance? You see, in the Hindu tradition, you are allowed to have your own interpretation of various ritualistic aspects. They allow you to have your own interpretation. So different parts of India will have perhaps different interpretation, give different interpretation of the same Janoi. So if somebody says, this is it, it's written in Tamil Nadu, we do this. That's his way. And somebody else might say, no, we like to think of it in Gujarat like this. So be it. It's allowed, this variation is allowed. Only democracy is at the heart of Hinduism. So there's a variation. But one particular interpretation that I personally like, that I promote, is this. I'm saying these three threads on your left shoulder represent your commitment to three particular ideals of Hindus, ideals of the Hindus. What are these three ideals? He says, look, that's a lovely idea. First ideal is, this will continue to remind you of focusing on a spiritual, if you like, journey. So the first ideal is God, they say in simple English, but I would say a spiritual path. You are saying that you are going to follow a spiritual path. Remind yourself again and again, it's sitting on your left shoulder like a burden. The second thread, they say, do not ever forget your responsibility to your family and your parents. Because you see, they give us birth. Have we noticed in the modern society, even in India, the parents are literally kicked out sometimes. They become destitute because we are modern now. He's saying, second thread, remember, these parents gave you life. They nurtured you. They almost killed themselves, sometimes starved themselves for your benefit. Don't you ever forget your debt or your commitment to them. This is the second thread. The third thread, we say, is important, I think. It says, don't forget your spiritual teachers. They are the ones who guided you, who allowed you to proceed on a spiritual path. Don't you ever forget them. Look after their interests too. So these are the three threads reminding the person about God, parents, and the teacher, or if you like, the respect or the reverence toward these three persons. Never forget it. It's a marvelous, if you like, marvelous symbolic gesture. The second part of the question, I think I should focus. I've mentioned this before, but I'm going to do it again on Asta. Now, you see, the Yagnopavit ceremony or the Janoi ceremony is called an entry into the Brahmacharya ashram. He said, what do you practice after you put on the Janoi? This is what you practice. He says that the individual is now asked to lead a Brahmachari life. Now, of course, the viewers say, Brahmachari life, what is that? So I better tidy up in modern English. It means no lovey-dovey, none. No text messages allowed, nothing doing. So once you put on the Janoi, that means no lovey-dovey acceptable or allowed at all from now on. Now you say that sounds fair enough. You got the three strings represent your kind of indebtedness to the idea of the spirit, the God or teachers and your parents. Marvelous stuff, sounds very sensible. And now you are not supposed to be lovey-dovey. Fair enough, maybe you are just 8-year-old and no lovey-dovey. You shouldn't be, surely focus on your studies. But the fun part is in the Lohana community. He's a Lohana, so I can talk like that. I get a lot of invitations to go to Lohana weddings, and of course in many cases I have to go. They are very close relations. And with that invitation also comes an invitation for Janoi. They are saying the groom who is getting married never had a Janoi when he was 7 or 8. So we want to give the Janoi to the groom in the morning at 11. This is normal standard time, 11 o'clock, because they all wake up. Otherwise, Lohanas don't wake up. So 11 o'clock they're woken up. So they go for the, they had the breakfast. They go for the Janoi part. And they first 11 o'clock Janoi, and we'll of course feed you. Feeding is very important. They feed you, and then afterward the wedding will take place. So this is standard. Haven't you all had this kind of invitation? Janoi in the morning, afternoon wedding. Now you see, so I scratched my head and said, these guys have no clue what the Janoi ceremony is all about. So in the morning, 11 o'clock, you're telling the bridegroom, no lovey-dovey, don't you dare, no lovey-dovey thoughts. At 1 o'clock, you say, get married, lovey-dovey, start. So for 2 hours, he managed to be celibate. Now the poor guy who's been stuck in the platform can't be anything but celibate. But for 2 hours, you made sure he's celibate. Now what are you doing? You are making a mockery of your religion, a mockery of your ceremonials. That was meant when he was a youngster entering the student stage of life, saying lead a spiritual life rather than a material life or a sensual life. It's just telling you this is a distraction. Don't let this distraction get in the way. Study well. That was the whole idea behind the Janoi or the Yagnopavit ceremony. It's pavitra. You see, there's very purity. It's invoking purity. In the morning you give purity, 1 o'clock we knock it out. We say pull the Janoi out. We can't now. You see, have Janoi and then get married and lovey-dovey and now exchange rings now. So you see, we knock it out. So this is unfortunately the state of affairs of Hinduism in today's world. And we need to challenge it and tidy up.